Kaiser isn't willing to change. So we're here to stand up for us and for our patients.
Thousands of local Kaiser healthcare workers walked off the job this morning. Now at noon, what they're demanding and the impact on Kaiser facilities in Oregon and Southwest Washington. Plus,
we're going to have a lot of money coming into Gaza and a lot of rebuilding and building.
President Trump back in Washington, D.C. after his trip to the Middle East. Coming up, we'll have more on the landmark peace deal the president helped broker and what comes next for Israel and Gaza. Also ahead,
Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government.
Airports across the Northwest refuse to air that video featuring U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. We'll explain why. And we're also talking Mariners baseball this afternoon. They're back on the field in Seattle tomorrow, 2 wins away from winning the American League pennant and earning their first trip to the World Series. KGW News at noon starts right now.
People are upset. People are sick of being the lowest paid nurses in the area. We are ready to fight for what we need to be able to staff our hospital and give great patient care.
Roughly 4,000 Kaiser Permanente healthcare workers in Oregon and Southwest Washington walked off the job this morning. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Drew Carney. Today's walkout is part of a larger strike this week involving Kaiser healthcare workers in several states. KGW's Devin Haskins was in Clackamas this morning at the start of the walkout, and he's live there right now with the latest. Devin?
Well, Drew, the workers here walked out several hours ago, upset with their latest offer that Kaiser has put before them. It has been a loud crowd full of honking cars, vuvuzelas, and bullhorns. The workers here joining the thousands across the southern Washington area and Oregon locations, as well as more than 45,000 in the United States.
What do we want?
Tuesday morning at 7. Several hundred healthcare workers walk out of Kaiser Permanente Sunnyside Medical Center in Clackamas, one of 6 locations in the area and around 4,000 workers on strike.
We just want fair, like a fair contract, fair staffing, safe staffing for the hospital, for patients.
The group here made up of registered nurses, lab professionals, and other professional employees unhappy with Kaiser's latest offers.
We're here for our community and for our patients and are looking to make sure that the safe conditions that are going to be best for us and our community are continued with a fair contract.
In September, 97% of their members voted to authorize a strike after several months of negotiations stalled. Workers say they want to be paid on par with other hospitals and have better working conditions.
So what we're asking for is a fair, market competitive contract that will allow us to retain and recruit staff. We're not asking for the moon here. We're just asking to be equal to the others systems that are in Portland.
Kaiser says it has bargained in good faith and offered a fair new contract, writing in a statement, quote, "A strike is unnecessary when a generous offer is on the table. It is designed to disrupt the lives of our patients, the very people we are all here to serve." Kaiser says they brought in temporary workers to fill some of those gaps left by the workers on strike. They also say they may have to move appointments, either rescheduling them or move them online. This strike is scheduled to last through the week and workers returning on Sunday. In Clackamas, Drew, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, Devin, with the very latest for us on that Kaiser Permanente walkout. We do have some other news headlines to get to, but first we're going to check in with Rod Hill. He's standing by there in the Weather Center. So, Rodney,
yes,
what are you looking at there behind you?
First off, Drew, I think I'm right when I say that's the first midday, it's a sunny day live shot, and our reporter felt the need to have a coat on. So
in a few months at least, right?
Yeah, so we have entered the chill of October. It is gorgeous outside, but the Devin's attire, especially if you're in a spot where you feel the north to east wind blowing a little bit, there's a little bite in the air after being down in some cases in the 30s this morning. It is gorgeous though. Plenty of people out walking on the beach from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. This is a west-southwest wind and temperature of 59. Remember the coast today, just as sunny as the valley. and with 60-degree highs just as warm as the valley, just because it's so pretty with the new snow. There's our Timberline live camera. It's been windy up there, so it is cold. 34 with a an east wind gusting to 31 miles per hour. Timberline and down into Crown Point are the two windy spots in our state today, both gusting to about 30. Here's our Salem live camera, 59 degrees, and there's downtown Portland. Light winds in the city, but easterlies have picked up out along the Columbia PDX to 22. Now, with that said, it is 60 degrees. Yesterday, we only hit 61, so we're going to be warmer than that today. I'll leave our high at 65 degrees with the east winds blowing along the river, but the rest of us, more than not, it's pretty comfortable outside. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rod. We continue to wait for an update on whether or not President Trump can legally deploy the National Guard to Portland. That update will come from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. A three-judge panel will rule on whether or not to keep the order in place that's currently blocking the deployment of Guard members to the city. We expect that ruling to come before the end of the week. Meanwhile, Democratic members of Oregon's congressional delegation criticized President Trump's plan to send the National Guard here. They say demonstrations in Portland remain largely peaceful and that Guard troops would only escalate tensions. This is new video from last night, right around 11 o'clock, outside Portland's ICE facility. We saw federal agents firing gas canisters and other munitions at protesters, although it's not clear what prompted that response. Portland police say they made no arrests last night near the ICE facility. Some Northwest airports, meanwhile, including Portland's airport and SeaTac, say they refuse to play a new Homeland Security video that features Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Homeland Security created this video to show on TSA screens all across the country. The refusal to show it stems from a line in the video that says, quote, "Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted, and most of our TSA employees are working without pay." The airports say the video is too politically charged. Instead, they say they're focused on supporting federal workers during the shutdown and urging lawmakers to reach an agreement. On the flip side, some Republican lawmakers in the state of Washington say that decision to not show the video is political itself.
Fine, you cannot show Secretary Noem's safety video because she talks about the shutdown, but that's going to have no bearing on how the shutdown plays out back in D.C. So it is, in my opinion, just empty virtue signaling.
SeaTac hasn't reported any major delays or staffing issues since the shutdown started. Spokane International Airport and the Boise Airport also declined to play the Secretary Noem video, pointing to policies that prohibit any commentary or advertising content about political issues. We have some developing stories this afternoon, including a major break in the case of a young Portland mother who was killed nearly 2 years ago. 22-year-old Tiara Atencio was stabbed to death. Police arrested a suspect in Montana. He's identified as Connor J. O'Brien, and he's currently awaiting extradition. Police in Gresham are investigating a string of thefts that targeted local businesses. So we're going to show you a surveillance video here. You can see in this video a young woman leaping over the checkout counter before she made off with cash. She's described as 18 to 25 years old, between 5'6" and 5'9", and 120 pounds. Anyone with information should contact Gresham Police. Today is the last day for voter registration in Oregon before next month's special election on November 4th. The deadline to register online is tonight at 11:59 p.m. If you want to do it in person, you can print, fill out, and return a registration form to your county elections office. Ballots are going out in the mail tomorrow. Keep in mind, this is an off-cycle year, but all three Portland metro counties do have items on the ballot. And if you live in Washington, the deadline to register there, either online or by mail, is October 27th.